This conference will now be recorded.
I can see. Okay, press, yeah, now write temp, T-E-M-P, yeah, okay, and delete everything from here. Control, All, and Shift, delete. So crash pad is also there. My goodness. So skip that, skip everything now. And now again close this window and go back and say prefetch. Windows R and prefetch, P-R-E-F-E-T-C-H.
Say it again.
P-R-E, pre, F-E-T-C-H. Yeah. And delete everything from here too. Shift delete. Skip. Yeah. So this can help. Okay, I got your message about that your TSM is not working, and then again your data source is not working, right?
Maybe, yeah, I needed to ask you those questions actually today. TSM, I need some help because I'm trying to search online. Yeah, I couldn't find the right kind of answers. I tried everything. It didn't work out for me actually. So this is the thing. TSM, I log in.
So checking the proxy and firewall, click on that. Come down. And come down. Okay, that's down. Go to system settings, system, and open your computer's proxy setting. So go to settings, system, the first one.
Okay. Sure.
And privacy settings. Go back to the Edge window.
Oh.
Go back to the Edge window.
Which one are you saying?
The browser window, Microsoft Edge.
Okay, this one.
Yeah. Open your computer's proxy settings. Go back there.
Proxy settings?
Go to system, yeah. So there should be some. Search right proxy. Yeah,
Proxy.
there you go. The change, not the first one. Now again search that proxy. Then select the first one. Change proxy settings. Yeah.
This is it.
Same thing. Okay. Other one to the settings. Use setups. Come down. So what different proxy settings they want? Okay. Go back to your Microsoft Edge window. Allow Microsoft Edge to access the network in your firewall or antivirus settings. If it's already listed in the program, allow to access to the network. Try removing it from the list and adding it again. Check your internet connection. You can do this. Allow Microsoft. Okay. Can you copy the same link and paste it in Google Chrome?
I did that as well. It didn't really work.
It didn't?
No.
This can happen only and only because of the two reasons. One is like you might your SQL Tableau server is not set up correctly, or the firewall settings is like refusing the access. So only two conditions can be there. But we can try this also. Allow Chrome to access the network in your firewall or antivirus settings. So can you search firewall settings? Yep.
The first one?
Yeah. Mac. So is it McAfee installed on your system?
No, I don't have.
Domain interested. I don't know McAfee. Providers. Can you scroll down here?
Yeah, that's the button. Mm,
No, I
nothing
think
down.
scroll. Nothing down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Firewall notification.
Allow an app
Register.
through.
That is grayed out, right?
Uh,
I can't able to click on it. Can you search on Google how to delete and add some application on the firewall? In the left column, click the Allow an app feature through Windows Firewall. Search Windows Firewall instead of just Firewall. Yeah, the Defender, Windows Defender Firewall. Yeah, click on that. Allow an app or features through the Windows Defender Firewall. On the left panel, the first option.
it's not
It is
selected.
not clickable.
No.
Did drop down that? Yeah, the first one. Nothing.
No, it doesn't even go down. What is this? These settings are being managed by vendor application McAfee. I don't have any.
That means you have McAfee. Yeah. Chain settings, firewall.
I never loaded this. This probably came automatic, I suppose.
So I think someone by some application it came.
I think so.
Firewall turn off. Yeah. So turn it for 15 minutes maybe. Yeah. Say turn off. And now go back and refresh your page. So I think that is happening because of this. Still nothing.
Mm,
Can I say reload? No. So I think go back to my cafe, and I think that is happening because of this reason only. Restart to default. How can I add any application to that? Okay. Can you go back to Windows Defender now then your firewall is off. The settings should be changed. It can't. I think you have to delete your McAfee or
I can do that.
exit it. Live safety. You don't remember how it is installed in your system?
No, I just rebooted the whole system and I never put anything back except these things.
Okay. Yeah. Uninstall it. And you were not able to visit your data source. You are able to visit your Tableau server, right?
Tableau server I was able to.
But not the data source, you said.
No, there are two problems. One is the the TSM
TSM
doesn't open,
one?
right?
Yeah,
The
that's
other one
fine.
is the questions here is, do I need to first publish the data source into that particular workbook? I mean, in that particular project, and then start uploading all the workbooks in it. Because the way I see it is, the kind of error messages I'm getting is they're unable to get find the data source when I click on open something.
Okay. So that is not correct connected correctly. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, so you have to publish your data source first or parallelly with your workbook. So that is going to be true. The case is going to be true because if you don't have any data source out there, how you can like create your visualizations,
right.
right?
Okay.
So you need to have that, but if it is already present on your Tableau server, you need not to publish it again, or you can replace them. So that is that option can be going to be there, but not connected to the data source. That means the connection, the namings which you have given, it might have changed. You might have replaced it with something else, or you entirely deleted them. So that's what the reason can be. So we can look into that once this error is completed. So let's go one by one.
Right.
Yeah. So can you did it uninstall or it's in progress? Okay.
It's still in progress.
Okay. Meanwhile, we can have a discussion. So do you have any other questions apart from these two?
Now I have, I mean, I probably have, but it's all accumulated in these things. What is the sequence of, what is the sequence when you start uploading something? You first create a, what do you call, a project in server, and then
Mhm.
any person will start creating workbooks. And when you create a workbook, automatically in the beginning, do you have to give permissions before even you publish in the worksheet itself, in the workbook itself?
Mm, that can be done using groups, but that is not entirely true.
Okay.
You
So even
maybe
if I,
you can give it, maybe not. If you choose to give it at a later point of time, you can do that too.
okay. And let's say I'm the admin, I'm the one who's posting a workbook in it. So I do have the access, right?
Yeah.
But when I go to the worksheet, let's say I'm trying to post something, it gives me very limited access on that particular workbook. Automatically, it is giving me very limited access. I think I should just wait till this to finish, because this one is not even loading.
Yep.
Okay, here it is. Signed in. Let's say, okay, publish data source. Eh. Okay, first thing first I have to do is I need to publish the data source and then publish workbook, is it?
Yep. And the naming should be identical. You should not change the namings of the.
Okay, let me just do this. Not responding. Okay, just finish with this.
So let's wait. I think because of this McAfee, a lot of firewalls has been generated on your system, which is not allowing you to get into that.
Yeah,
It can happen, like it can restrict you for uploading your data source also. That can be the case too.
restart now. Oh my God, I have to close all this. So
Do
that,
that, do that. We will wait.
yeah. All right, thank you.
Yep.
This
Okay.
conference will now be recorded.
So yes, you can create a different sites on your trial version too, because it allows you to create those sites and manage those users between the sites.
Okay, Okay, I just wanted to
Okay.
create one and dump something in it yesterday. It didn't work out.
Okay.
Uh,
Fine. That's fine. Okay, so let's discuss that after creating a site, how you can manage the users. Okay, so users can be created based on the sites. Okay, so it can be the possibility that I am the server administrator of both the sites because it is under the same server. But for the explorer who can publish, or a viewer, or unlicensed ones, you can he or she will get only those accesses. So whatever we decide to. Okay, so we decided that no, a particular person has to only see the default site, not the math site. So in the login page only. So like you see, let me click on the users and see SID2, right? And I see that SID2 is an explorer who can publish. So let me go ahead and copy this, have an incognito mode, and say, uh, um,
or if password didn't update, you can press that force update.
yeah, that's what I did.
I was wondering what that button was all about.
Hmm. So let's add a new user. So say I want to say SID, say SID, SID. Okay, and say display name is also said. Password can be anything. Email is optional, and I want to give an like permissions for all the sites or the assigned sites. Okay, so it can be the possibility where you can only give it for only one site, and if you choose to give it for the both side, you can decide between what level of permissions you want to give for that particular user. Okay, so
Okay.
it totally depends upon you. So let me just go ahead and give it for default and say add user. Okay, let me go back and log in as that user. So you see, I'm not able to see a lot of different option, which I used to see by logging in with my server administrator login. I can see users, I can create group schedules, jobs, tasks, site status, etc. But here I can only see those options on which, as a explorer who can publish, can see. I can't add users, I can't add groups, and this is how my window will look like.
Okay.
Okay, I can only view them and publish those reports if I want, but I can't change anything. Okay, so this is what the basic difference is. Um, so let me tell you one more thing. So when you say add users, and like adding a different users is how easy. But it is a manual task to do. There you can, let's say you have to add a lot of users, a lot of organization users who is going to use this particular Tableau server, and it can be hundreds of them or thousands of them. So you really can't go ahead and add each and every one of them by clicking adding a new users and then uh, giving them passwords separately and then uh, uh, creating it manually. So what other options which we have is creating a users with the import from a file.
Right.
Okay, and there we can get an option for importing a file, a CSV file. Okay, so let me let me show you that how we can use this option and create a new users by using this option. Okay.
Okay.
So CSV import is a very easy. You have to like create a new file, the Excel file, and you have to give the import file option in the CSV format. Now, so there will be like eight of them, the columns. So the first one will be the username. Okay. So let us parallelly create it also. Hmm. So there will be no header. The header won't be anything. So you directly have to start using it from the first column itself, from the first row itself. Okay.
Okay.
So let's say I'm talking about you, and let me add you as a user. So I will say Ravi. Okay. So the second column will be the password. So I can be a password Ravi itself. Just an example.
Okay.
Display name, it could be Ravi. License level. Now we discussed about the different license level which we had yesterday. Okay, so you can be creator, you can be explorer.
Ooh, once again. Yeah. Sorry. I'm just logging out from
Yes.
here.
Okay.
So that can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Should I continue, or do
Yeah.
you want to try your Tableau server TSM?
And let's finish this and then we'll go there.
Okay. So the fourth column will be the license level. So it can vary from the creator, explorer, viewer, and unlicensed. So how you have to give it is you directly have to give them as like license level is equal to creator. Okay, so you
Okay.
can actually go ahead and copy this. Let's say I'm saying it as a creator, so say yes, creator. Okay, so inside the creator, do they have administrator level or not? Okay, so it can be system side or none. Okay, so let me say none. Okay, and then do you will be having a publishing capability or not? So you can say either say yes or say true or say one for um, true, no false or zero for false.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say no. Done. And
Right.
then again, last but not the least, about the email address. So you have any email address, Ravi@gmail. Okay, so let's save this. Save as. So say this PC. Say more options. The text and say it as a CSV, comma. Say okay. Okay, let's see where are so book1.csv. Let's go back. Let's say browse and say text say import user. Okay, so what it says, 0 users skipped. So let's say you haven't given anything which is like important. So two things are usually important, like mandatory to give. One is like a username, and the second one is a password. So if it is a new user, you have to give them a password. Okay,
Okay.
and if it is an old user, so let's say there is existing users in a default site, but that user you want to also add it in a um, secondary site, which is a math site in this case. Okay,
Okay.
so in that case, you can also go ahead and add a user by using like manually, or you can go ahead and use it, add it by using import files. But in that case, when you're creating this, because that user already have a login credentials, but just not for the math site, just for the default site. So
Okay.
if you want for them to also log into the different site with the same credentials as he or she was using, you should not provide any password for that username. Okay,
Right.
in that case, he or she will be using its own old username and password and will be able to log into that new site too.
Okay.
Okay. So remember that if you like want to add any new users from one site to another. But in this case, you Ravi was all a new user. So one user has been created, one user has been added to the site, and one user was not set to created due to the incorrect parameters in the CSV file. That's what we wanted. And you see, uh, my Ravi is created.
Okay.
Right, so I will give you an example of adding Ravi to the next site also. So let's say I went to the math site. Okay, and there are no users yet, for example, and that's a new user, and I say that Ravi. So what it said, that username Ravi already exists to the another site. Okay,
Okay.
so do you want to copy the same Ravi, the display name, uh, with the same site rules and everything? So you can say proceed, and you can directly add a, you see it didn't ask me for let's say RAV, so it is asking me for different um, display name, password, blah blah blah. But if I say Ravi and if I say proceed, it will copy everything from your last site role, and even your password it will remains the same, and you just have to add user to the site. So that means in the CSV file also, you just have to give the username option. Rest
Okay.
everything they will copy.
Okay.
So if you have a bulk of them, you just have to provide the usernames, and those users will be copied from one site to another. But if it is a new user, for entirely new user for both of the sites, then you have to provide everything. The email is optional, so you can skip that. But other than that, everything is not optional for new users.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
so you can see here CSV file settings. Where, uh,
So if I have to create the CSV file, this is how I create it.
yeah, we created there now, and saved
Yeah.
it as a .csv format.
Right.
Yeah. So like basically CSV formats shit. Basically CSV files are comma delimited files. And if you try to open them as a text file, for example, if I close this and Windows D, and if I hit open with a notepad, you will see it will be a comma separated
Right. Okay.
values. Okay, just that to view it in Excel, it will give you in the different cells, but overall they are comma separated.
Okay.
Okay.
This will be my job as well, is it? Just in case.
Yeah. Yeah. If you like, the major part will be like adding a new user, giving them permissions. These will be your major roles.
Okay.
Mm, okay. So we talked about adding the users and adding existing users in the new or the old site. So let's talk about the groups now. Okay, I think, do you have any questions here?
No. This is on in Tableau, is it? CSV import file, just for reference.
No, we created it.
No, no, no. This page. Okay, I can see it in
Yeah,
tableau.com.
yeah, it's in Tableau.
Guidelines.
Like if you go here and say add users and say import file, and if you click learn more, it will
Oh,
redirect to this page.
awesome. Okay.
Okay, so you don't need to worry that how you can find this page.
Okay. Got it.
And if you want it as a reference, let me ping you that. Hmm, can I chat? It's not happening. Okay, leave it. So you know from where to find it. Why it's not happening? Okay, leave
It's
it.
all right.
Yeah, it's all right. So, do you want to try your TSM first, or do you want to continue with the session?
Yeah, let's,
I
should
think
we?
that's important. Yeah. So let's try that because you will not able to go back and see what's happening. So that part is also important.
Can you give permission to share screen?
Okay. Uh, yep. I think you're present now. Yeah, I can see it. So McAfee is uninstalled.
Yeah, it's uninstalled.
Oh, now
And
you can.
yeah, I just logged in this one. I forgot how to log into this one. Tableau server
So this
services
one
now.
is your Windows password, username password.
Windows.
Yeah, Windows.
Invalid. Hmm.
Uh, so can you go back and see your profile in the Windows? Once again, let me see how I can see it. Go to this PC
PC.
1 second.
Maybe this is no. I don't think this is the one, right? I need to
Yeah.
click on the draft.kp or something here over here. How do I find
Yeah.
myself?
Go to your Windows. Click on your avatar and say change account settings. So this thing is Ravi kiran.p@hotmail.com. So if you lock your window, this things come, right? Like your username comes.
Yeah, but the last time I remember, I somehow went into command prompt and tried to find
Hmm.
my name there. I
Hmm.
forgot that path, and that is what I copied in it. And then when I entered the password, it just worked out. How do I know the user is a? Can you tell me?
Yeah. Go to command prompt. CMD. Yeah. So this is the one system. Say cd dot dot cd users list list show list, something like that. Not sure about this one. Okay, go to Windows Explorer. Not Windows, File Explorer. Sorry, my bad. File Explorer. This PC. Say this PC. Yeah. Go to C drive. Go to users. Which one are you? Ravi K.
Yeah.
So say Ravi K and then your password. Edge. Yeah. Ravi K. And there your Windows password.
Mm,
It's a 4-digit password.
yeah.
Just
The
write it
passcode.
again. So mine is like
Oh no, it went in.
it went in.
Oh.
This is a Windows password, right? Like when you log in, this will be your
Yeah. No.
yeah.
This is not what it should. I use a passcode for that.
Okay. So what was this password?
This was my email password, the whole user
Email
password.
password. Oh, okay. Maybe it's just taking the Ravi K as a username and then password as your Hotmail's password.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this looks wonderful, this page.
You can refresh that actually. So come down and try to refresh the status. I think it will take some time to refresh it. So at least you're in.
Yeah, at least I'm in. That's the best part.
Okay. And what about your server you're talking about in Windows Server?
Windows Server. Let me just log in. Come on.
Now your server is not working, is it?
Yeah, it's not loading. TSM was working. Servers.
No, earlier server was working, but TSM was not working.
Yeah, TSM.
I think your server is not up yet. You just refreshed it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it will take some time to make everything active.
Okay.
So that's why it is not running. Need to wait for that, so everything should be in green.
Okay, that has to work for the server to work. Okay.
Yep, yep. Because your server is not set up yet, right? Like it's not up and running.
Okay. Then let's go back to class then. This is. And what do I do with this file? Delete it? Open it? So make a copy or delete it to discard. At least the feel of it is better right now. It's a bit faster.
Mm-hmm. Maybe McAfee was the reason it was working. Can you stop it and can you run it back?
Which one? The TSM?
Server, yeah. So if you see, Tableau server is degraded. Click on that.
Enabling metric services.
Yeah. So can you click on that? The Tableau server has been degraded.
I'm clicking on it, nothing's happening.
No, not there. On the right side top panel, Tableau server has been degraded. Yeah.
Restart
So
Tableau
stop.
server.
Yeah, restart that. Second form. So it will take some time. Meanwhile, we can start with our class and it will take some time to refresh it. And once this is up and running, you will be able to log into your Tableau server also.
Okay.
Okay. Mm. Okay, I think we have wasted a lot of time today in
Yeah.
troubleshooting all these. So let's continue with the group, and I think now we can close it for today, and we'll be a little bit faster from tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, when are you planning on finishing, Siddharth?
So
By when?
it will by November second week it will be finished.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe like uh, early or by 12th or 13th somewhere,
Got it.
depending upon the pace which we are going through. So it totally depend upon that.
Right. Are we in a
Yeah,
good
but
pace right now? Or is it any slow?
yeah, we are in a good pace right now. But today it was like we haven't covered what I have planned. But that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the default one. We talked about the users, how to import them and add them. Let's talk about the groups very quickly. So what are the groups? Groups are the collection of all those users which are there in your Tableau server. Okay. By default, there will be only one group created that will be for all users, and there you can see the details of your all users, their site roles, their username, their groups, the domain, the last sign information, etc., etc. And also, if you are a site administrator or a server administrator, you can like control or change the group
site roles or change the password or unlock the account access or lock the account access, etc., etc. Okay, you
Okay.
can manage those users from here. So let's go back a little bit and also go ahead and add a group. So let's we talked about the maths. Okay, so let's say math is something, a group name which I want to create, and I want to grant a role on the sign in. If you don't want to do that, you can also go ahead and just normally create a group. Okay, but if you grant a role, by default, whosoever is going to be part of that group, and irrespective of the roles you have assigned to that user, that role will be granted to that particular user. So let's say a user is unlicensed, and you have granted them into a particular group which says viewer.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so which says viewer. So by default, he so or she will be able to view it. Okay, so it is not recommended to use a grant role on sign on because anyhow you're granting the roles to the users. Just create a group normally
Okay.
and then go back and then add users to those groups.
Okay.
Okay, if you add them, so you will see the different site roles for the users. But let's say I'm adding, let me delete this. So this is how you can delete or minimum site roles can be. Okay.
Okay.
Right now minimum site roles is Explorer. And if I go in and add users, add everyone and add users. Okay. And if I come back, so the minimum site role for the explorer who can publish is it for this particular group. So whosoever is part of this group now, so Ravi is unlicensed, right?
Yeah.
Let me sign it out and then sign in as a Ravi. You see, you was unlicensed, but now you are able to log in because this is a minimum site role which is given to this group. If I remove you from this
Okay.
group, okay, say Ravi, okay, the site role has been changed here too. See, you were unlicensed and now you have a Explorer license. So that's how it works. Like that's how it change the priority. If you were not part of some group or permissions and by mistake you have given the minimum site role to that group and you have added that user, your permissions will be overwritten. So you have to make sure that this misconception or confusion does not happen, because then it will be very difficult for you to go back and track your mistakes. Okay, so remember that. And
Okay.
always this will be a good practice that if you're creating a group, create it with no site rules, because that will
Right.
decrease the manual error chances. Otherwise, if you create one and then add someone who is not like licensed, also can get the access.
Okay. So now you removed me from there and now have the access. I can
Because
publish.
it is overwritten, so then I
Right.
have to
It just
change
came
your
back to its
site
own
to,
default.
yeah, yeah. Let me say unlicensed, change roles. Okay, and now if I log out and then again sign in as Ravi, I will not be able to log in. See,
Cool. Okay.
cool. So this will give you an option that contact your server administrator.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So we covered about the users and the groups today. That was like my plan was to complete this in half an hour of the session, and I was, but anyhow,
Sorry
I
about
don't.
that.
Yeah,
Uh,
don't be. Please don't be. So we will continue, and we'll take a little bit more with more pace from tomorrow. Okay.
okay. Sure.
So go back and wherever you're lagging, you have some time now. So just go back and do the practice if you have
Yeah.
mm,
Before I start,
time.
Siddharth. So
Yeah,
earlier I was talking about the server part, right? And
right.
first you create a project
Uh-huh.
and in server, then the developer will start creating workbooks, right?
Workbooks,
You
right.
first, so-called as what do you call this? You first publish the data source into
Hmm.
that particular project,
Project.
and then
Hmm.
start dumping all your workbooks into that particular set. Is it?
So it can work parallelly, like you can publish your data source and then your workbook, or you can publish your data source and workbook parallelly. Okay, but without a data source, without the extracted files, or without publishing your data source separately, you will not be able to publish just your visualization. You
Say it
need to
again,
connect to
Siddharth.
some data. So let's say you're going with TWBX format with the extracted inside a zip folder kind of
Okay.
role. Okay, so that will contain your visualizations and as well as your data source.
All right.
Correct? The
Yeah.
extracted data source.
Yeah.
But if you decide to publish your data source separately, so first you have to publish your data source and then your visualization, or both can go hand to hand.
Okay. 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 This is what. Yeah. I published
Yeah.
it separately there, and I
Uh-huh.
was unable to open it.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you won't be able to.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Got
you
it.
have to either go parallelly, or if you're publishing your data source first, then publish your, don't forget to publish your visualization. Otherwise, you won't be able to see anything.
Yeah. It doesn't even open up.
Yeah.
Is this there? And all I need when tomorrow we come back, I
Hmm.
just need some help about how to upload that data source into that particular folder, just for my knowledge, if you
Yeah, yeah,
can.
we can do that. We can do that. Write down those queries, and we will take up those questions in the first 20 minutes of the call.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Okay,
Thank you,
Ravi.
Siddharth. Thank you.
Take
Have
care
a
of
good day.
yourself. Happy
You too.
learning. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.